Hello, welcome to Notts Today. I'm Al Booth. I hope you're well, enjoying the sunshine. It's too hot for this jacket, I can tell you that. Right, this is what's coming up on the show for you today. We have been to meet a group who are dedicated to the restoration of the Bennerley Viaduct as they celebrate 10 years of bringing the Iron Giant back to life.
We have got there, and by September and October we will have a project that we can all look back on with a great deal of pride and a great deal of opportunity to look for.
There's some great guests coming up for you as well, including two researchers who've been named in the top 50 women in engineering. Tasneem Yousuf and Keziah Majid have been listed for this year's awards, which celebrate the commitment of people who challenge conventional boundaries and improve lives through innovation. We'll speak with them shortly. We'll also have updates for you on local headlines, including an attempted murder charge in Mansfield. That's after a woman in her 60s was found in a garden with stab wounds last Friday. A man's been charged in connection with that incident. We'll have more on it shortly for you. And we'll hear tributes from across Notts after the death of Tim Pollard. Tim was best known for portraying legendary outlaw Robin Hood. His passing was announced at the weekend and has led to hundreds sharing their sympathies and their memories of the county's official Robin Hood. We'll be speaking with former City Council leader David Mellon later on. And we'll have a sport roundup for you as well, including a few words from the 6th summer signing for Mansfield Town. Nathan Mariah Welsh says he's eager to get into the starting lineup for the Stags.
So I'm obviously just coming in to play games, but at the same time I have to bide my time at some points, which I'm happy to do and be patient. But I think from what I've seen, they all look like quality lads.
There we go, an action-packed sunny Monday show for you then. First, we're going to head over to the Iron Giant that connects Nottinghamshire with Derbyshire as we celebrate the amazing volunteers who are bringing the historic site back to life. The Bennerley Viaduct connects Ellsworth in Broxtowe with Ilkeston in Derbyshire and has been restored in recent years to turn it into a world-class attraction. And that's all thanks to the amazing volunteers at the Friends of Bennerley Viaduct group, who this month celebrated a decade of amazing work. Lucy Marshall went down to find out more.
A project of this size and magnitude and importance always requires cooperation, dedication, understanding and teamwork, and I'm absolutely honoured to have the opportunity to work with them to build something for future generations. Happy 10th birthday to the Friends of Bennerley Viaduct. I know I'm not always the easiest person in the world to work with, however we have got there, and by September and October we will have a project that we can all look back on with a great deal of pride and a great deal of opportunity to look forward to a promising future. But there was an ease about life in those days, and it's important to remember the great fondness that we have for this country, for the broad backs of the working people. But it's also an important heritage area, looking at the landscape, the flora and fauna that exists within the area of West Valley. And it's important to preserve and recognise the importance for future generations and landscapes such as this whole. Well, Visitor Centre is due to be completed in September, and we're looking towards a grand opening in October. And I hope that those will be well attended. I hope that people will embrace this project with fondness and look and remember their own past, their families, their fathers, their mothers and the siblings, and actually to come along that day and celebrate what I think is a national, if not international, project that will help future generations understand the debt we owe to the working class. And the viaduct and the visitor centre will give people an opportunity for education and learning and a focus for people to concentrate and recognise the debt that we owe previous generations.
Right, it's time for our first chat of the show now, and we are speaking with engineering researchers who've just been named on a list of the top 50 women in the field. The Women in Engineering Awards celebrates women who are working together to improve lives through engineering, as well as collaboration, innovation and diversity. And we're joined by researchers Tasneem Yousif and Keziah Magid, who are here to tell us how the work is helping to shape the future and to inspire others to get into the world of STEM subjects as well. Congratulations, welcome. How did it feel to be nominated then? The top 50 is pretty impressive. Keziah?
Yeah, I feel truly honored and humbled to be among these incredible women in industry. And personally, it gives me the joy to be part of the celebration, and also is a meaningful reflection, taking deep reflection to see and to reflect on the journey so far, and professionally is to also appreciate or celebrate the support I've gotten so far, the support from my advisors, my mentors, my colleagues, my friends, and my sponsors as well. It's incredibly nice. And also professionally, it's a deep reflection, and it emphasizes or enforces the implication of collaboration and diversity in engineering.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
It's amazing to be a part of that. And Tasneem as well. Tell us about the work you do, actually. What research are you doing? What's the work you're doing?
Yes, so I am a PhD student at University of Nottingham. My research is related to GNSS. Actually, GNSS stands for Global Navigation Satellite System. This is the general term. However, as all of you know GPS, so we rely on GPS every day. So for example, when I come today, I use GPS to know the location. However, Global Navigation Satellite System is the general term. GPS is also very common. However, it's made by USA, the United States. There is another system called Galileo, which is made by European Space Agency, which also we can access Galileo. Also in China, we call BeiDou, but the GNSS is the global term. However, the challenge in Global Navigation Satellite System is the signal is very weak, so it can reach to minus 160 decibel watts. So it's a very, very weak signal. That's why it's vulnerable to multiple interference. Interference, again, is basically, it's like a radio frequency wave that can disturb and distort the GNSS signal. So it can affect the accuracy, the reliability, the accuracy, the integrity of the global navigation satellite. So, yeah.
Stop you there and say you two are both infinitely more clever than I am, and your answers are making me go, oh wow, my head hurts. So that's incredible, the work you're both doing. But let's talk about the awards then and being nominated. You know, you've talked about being personally, but both of you coming into STEM, which is kind of well known for being underrepresented by women. Not enough women are coming in, and women find it hard to come in. I mean, what was your own journey into it? Because yeah.
Okay, my journey into it was actually, it started since when I was small. I am always curious about how things work, especially in nature. I ask a lot of questions, and I wanted to see the real impact of things. So that was what actually prompted me into engineering. Then coming specifically into chemical engineering, it's versatile. You can fit in anywhere, from the industry to the manufacturing, production. So I felt going into that session is more versatile and there is more impact in the world. Then coming specifically to the work I do, that's fluid dynamics, I try to imagine how gas and liquid flows in pipes, from simple on into the tap and observing how water flows in the pipe. So I try to ask questions out of curiosity. I want to see how it happens. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So do you now, with winning this award, feel that you can empower others coming into
Sure.
it? Is that part of this?
Yeah.
Yes, it's actually very, very important to, especially like this kind of award, Women in Engineering Award. It's very good because it's important to have more women in engineering. This will inspire other young female, young women that they can see, oh, there's other women in this field, so maybe I can be one of them one day. And also collaboration, because when there is diversity and collaboration, this will bring a better solutions, more innovation, better solutions, like different mindset, different experience. So it's very good to have women in engineering and to inspire others and to have a contribution in our societies and communities.
Absolutely. Well, it's fantastic. Thank you so much for coming in, and congratulations again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, let's have a look at some headlines now. And remaining traders at the Victoria Centre Market have accused Nottingham City Council of hindering access to their businesses. Although the council-run market was officially closed in March this year, several traders remain and say the authority is trying to get them to move from the site. They say the removal of signage is preventing customers from accessing the site, but the Labour-run authority says its steps are standard procedure and they're necessary as well to reduce the cost of lighting, maintenance and reducing antisocial behaviour. And police have made an attempted murder charge after a woman was allegedly stabbed in her Mansfield home. Police were called to Butler Crescent at 20 to 9 on Friday morning after reports of a woman in her 60s found in the garden with stab wounds. 66-year-old Lloyd Wells of Butler Crescent was later arrested and charged with attempted murder and threats to kill. He appeared in Nottingham Magistrates Court today and is due before Crown Court next month. Right, when we come back, we're going to hear some heartfelt tributes after the death of Nottingham's official Robin Hood at the weekend. We'll be talking to the former City Council leader about his memories of Tim as well. And we'll find out about Stag's latest signing. Hello, welcome back to Notts Today with me, Al Booth. We've got loads more coming up for you on this show. First, some headlines for you, and a 20-year project could advance the development of new clean energy and training to create new jobs in Notts. The collaboration between the UK Atomic Energy Authority and East Midlands regional leaders will develop skills, apprenticeships and other employment programmes relating to STEP fusion. That's the nuclear energy creation process. The first power plant of its kind here in the UK will be built in Bassetlaw, and it hopes to bring abundant clean power to the region. The new collaboration will work with regional universities to support the creation of thousands of future jobs. And it's time now for a video of a police dog helping officers track down and arrest two suspects who fled from a speeding vehicle. The car failed to stop for officers on Plains Road in Mapley in the early hours of last Thursday morning. It then drove off and was abandoned, which led officers to deploy police dog Seth. He found the suspects hiding in an undergrowth behind Campbell Gardens. A 35-year-old woman and a 16-year-old boy were arrested on suspicion of dangerous driving, failing to stop and other motoring offences. And Bassetlaw District Council said it's forging ahead with its plans to improve high streets and tackle the long-term issue of empty shops. Last December, the Labour-run authority took up a rental action scheme to get long-term empty shops new tenants. Last week, at a full council meeting, councillors approved the locations the scheme will be applied in, such as Worksop, Retford, Haworth and Burcoats. The authority said it hopes to engage with landlords to reduce the number of premises that reach rental auction stage and also support more spaces for community groups. And Notts residents have been encouraged to record names of those from the county that died during the Second World War. The Nottinghamshire Roll of Honour is a permanent tribute and a developing record of the local men, women and children who died as a result of the two World Wars. Recently, more than 5,000 names of those lost during World War II have been added to tribute, and volunteers say many are still missing. They're urging the public to scour family trees and memorials to create lasting legacies for Nottingham's fallen. Now time for another guest, and we're going to share some of the stories of Tim Pollard, better known to you and me as Robin Hood. He passed away after what was described as a short and brave battle with cancer. His death was announced at the weekend on his official Facebook page, saying he went peacefully and surrounded by his family. Well, since then, thousands of tributes have been paid to him and to his family. Tim portrayed legendary outlaw at various events across the county alongside his late wife Sally Pollard, and here to share some memories and discuss the impact his Robin Hood had is former leader of Nottingham City Council, Councillor David Mellon. David, thank you for coming in.
Good evening.
Just tell us a bit about Tim as a person, not as Robin Hood, but as a person.
Well, it's quite difficult to know the man Tim because he was authentic Robin Hood, and whenever he put that hat and that costume on, he was Robin Hood. And you know, as you travel around the world, people talk about Nottingham and they talk about two people. One was Brian Clough and the other is Robin Hood. And for people to be able to believe, particularly children, in the outlaw, then you have to have someone who wasn't just messing about but actually was living that character. And so whenever I saw Tim, he was Robin Hood, and he never stepped out of that character. So I know the real man was, you know, passionate about other things. He raised money for breast cancer charities. But to us, he was a really good Robin Hood. When we opened the castle for a second time, and lots of children there, and it was great to be there. He's a really good foil for the Sheriff of Nottingham, and he went perfectly with Nottingham Castle, and you know, he'll be sorely missed.
Yeah.
He did a really good job. He's left his legacy, but he's died too soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everyone will agree with that. And kids know as well. We talk about, like, you know, you see character actors who there, and as a parent, you're always like, well, I hope the kids. But like you say, he was Robin Hood. He was authentic, and kids didn't think anything else. And you could see the energy that came from that, from his point of view as well.
I mean, as someone who dons the red coat at Christmas, I often get found out and said it's not really Santa. It's Councillor Mellon. Well, that never happened with Tim. He was Robin Hood, wherever he was, whether it was with dignitaries, whether it was in a formal occasion, or whether it was just chatting with young children as they came to visit the castle. He was the real thing, and Notts will be poorer for his loss.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, I think you're the first person to mention Christmas, and you've chosen the hottest day of the year to do it.
Sorry
So
about
that's
that.
the first. No, that's okay. That's all right. We're there. And obviously, together with Sally, his wife, who he sadly lost as well. I mean, it's tragic in that sense, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think they both exhibit public service. Obviously, he was paid for doing the job that he did, but he was committed to our city and never hesitated in appearing, and Sally likewise in the past. So we've lost them both, and that's, you know, a loss for our city and our county. But I will remember him fondly, and I think there's lots of children whose excitement about Nottingham Castle and the tales of Robin Hood were enhanced because of Tim's presence there.
Yeah.
So we thank him for that, really. And my condolences go to his friends and family who've lost him too soon. But I hope the memory of what he did for our city will be some comfort to them at this time.
And Nottingham, you know, there's a lot of talk in Nottingham about, do we make enough of Robin Hood? We've got the statue outside the castle, which we can see there. But, you know, when you're getting tourism in, obviously speaking as a former city council leader, it's so important to the economy that you need someone like Tim to really make it happen.
The gallery in the castle with the various tales of Robin Hood and the chance to fight with a long staff with Little John and fire arrows at targets really enhances it. It's the first thing that you come to once you've come into the council grounds as a child with your parents or your grandparents. And so I just hope that is something there. It's a tale that will live on in our city. It might be hundreds of years old. There might be 100 different versions. But Robin Hood, you know, took from the rich and gave to the poor, and there's some lessons there for all of us, I guess.
Absolutely. Have you got any personal memories of Tim? Obviously, you work together in the council employees, I guess, colleagues.
Yeah, I mean, he never got involved in the politics, as far as I was concerned. He was there to do one thing, not to tell me how to run the council, but he was there to promote the character of Robin Hood, which has made Nottingham great. And he stuck to that, and he was good at it. He was authentic, and people believed him. And so I enjoyed working with him, as did plenty of Lord Mayors and Sheriffs in the past years.
Yeah.
And, you know, we will need to think who's going to portray Robin Hood in the future, because that's an ongoing tale and legend, even though sadly Tim's no longer with us.
Well, he's left a legacy, isn't he?
He
So
certainly
thank
has,
you
yeah.
for sharing your memories. Thank you. Also, just a mention as a tribute to Tim and his wife Sally. Following the sad weekend news of Tim's death, at 7 o'clock tonight on Notts TV, there'll be another chance to see A Day in the Life Robin Hood. It's a film involving the two of them, which was first broadcast in 2014. Right, time for your sport now, and we'll start with Forest. On Saturday evening, Reds midfielder Elliot Anderson helped England's under-21s retain their European Championship title. Forest's number 8 Anderson made key contributions throughout the campaign, as he scored once and made an assist at the tournament in Slovakia before playing 99 minutes in the final. England came out on top against Germany in a 5-goal thriller. Substitute Jonathan Rowe scored the winner in extra time after a 2-2 draw in ordinary time. And staying with football, because Mansfield Town have confirmed their 6th summer signing at the weekend. They've got midfielder Nathan Mariah Welsh from Scottish side Hibernian. The Ghanaian international came through the youth setups at Chelsea, Brentford, Reading and Bournemouth. He's played at Wellside Newport as well. In his first interview with the club, he says the quality the Stags possess mean he's excited to get stuck in.
From what I've seen, there's a lot of quality in the middle of the park. And obviously competition for places is healthy. It can only breed a good positive squad, and I feel a midfield, obviously the engine of a team, needs to be able to do all aspects, and I think from what I've seen they can all do that. So I'm obviously just coming in to obviously play games, but at the same time I have to bide my time at some points, which I'm happy to do, and be patient. But I think from what I've seen, they all look like quality lads.
Right, cricket now. It's day 2 of Nottinghamshire's county championship match with Somerset. The league leaders made steady progress in the heat yesterday. They took 6 wickets. Pace bowler Brett Hutton claimed 2 on his return to the first 11, and that left Somerset 275 for 6 at the close of play. Now, while the Outlaws have been in Taunton, Trent Bridge hosted England women on Saturday in the first of a 5-match T20 series against India. Nat Siver Brunt's knock of 66 was in vain, as India claimed a thumping 97-run victory to take a 1-0 series lead. And we're finished with basketball. Amari Williams has made history to become the first basketball player from Nottingham to be drafted into the NBA. The 23-year-old would join the Boston Celtics after being selected as the 46th overall pick. Williams impressed in his previous stint at the Kentucky Wildcats, and will become the 3rd current English-born player in the NBA. Photo of the daytime now. These stunning, beautiful pink roses were captured in gardens at Belvoir Castle by Nicola Dawson. You can send us yours at Notts_TV. Let's have a look at your weather now. Well, it's been glorious today, a hot one of 32 degrees. Temperatures are dropping under to 18, which is still a muggy overnight, isn't it? Tomorrow, not as hot as today, still quite warm though, 26 degrees, a little bit of cloud cover there, dropping to 15 into Wednesday. And Wednesday is going to be, well, it's going to be warm but cooler. Highs of 20 degrees down to 10 degrees overnight. So I hope you're enjoying the sunshine, hope you're keeping safe in it as well. And if you do care to get out of the sun and into the shade, stick yourself in front of the TV tomorrow at 5:30, and I'll see you for another Notts Today in a cooler jacket, I think, tomorrow. Bye-bye.